Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on here going to be continuing our playthrough on the PAX Prosperita server. The server hosted by the man, the myth, the legend, Doc, or Gaming with Doc as he is also known. Link to his channel will be down in the description below of this video, along with him and others on my main YouTube page underneath the friendly content creator section. So if you get the chance, definitely check them out. So, as you can clearly see, we have, we've made a bit of progress out in the desert. We've got the steel beam facility pretty much fully made. We're going to be touring that in just a moment, as well as we got some rail lines made, and I'm going to show you guys as well what we have done over by the hub area. So, without further waste of time, let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's go. Alrighty then, and here we are. So, we have a lot of work ahead of us today. We got a lot more rail lines to build and stuff like that. We're going to be building over by the hub probably for a little bit. I'm also going to I'm going to be making a duplicate of this build as well. So let's go take a look at it from the outside. So, yeah, this is a really cool sign here. I'm actually quite happy with this. Kind of reminds me of the show House. If you guys remember the show House with the blocky letters. Actually kind of like that. And plus, when you put when you put Whitestone Industries right on top of each other, and when I made the name, that was not shut up, Ada. That was not exactly that wasn't exactly intentional, I would say. But when I found this out, I was like really happy. Yeah, Whitestone Industry or Whitestone on top of Industries fits perfectly. Same exact amount of letters. So, yeah. I don't think I'll remember, but there is a wiki on how to do these kind of letterings and stuff like that. So if you want to know that, you can just look it up. Otherwise, hopefully I might have it down in the description below. Like I said, if I remember, I might forget though. All right, well, you guys might have seen this build already. This one's on my single player server. This one, however, is a little bit skinnier. It's still the same length. And it's roughly in the same position. I didn't know exactly where to put it, or exactly how to put it in there. I just kind of went off of memory because it was a while ago. But I did build this based on that. And over here, don't worry about this factory. I've just been building crystal oscillators, which people have been uploading quartz and cable. So I've been kind of throwing that in there, trying to build a decent amount of these. And I've been hitting my power limits. As you can see here, every time I turn that bad boy on, it goes from 900 megawatts to over 1600. When you sloop a manufacturer, it is worth a lot. Yeah, and then if you come in here, now there is no lights because I do not have power for lights because I'm not hooked up to any other grids. I'm on my own grid still, which is that power station right out there. Beautiful power station. I actually have fully overclocked that one now, so it's now up to mass clock, and it's been running ever since without any issues. Okay, and we're full up on coal as well. So the reason that it's skinnier is because we got the modular train stations, which this mod I'm going to be putting into my future playthroughs, because this mod is absolutely beautiful. It works beautifully, and it's so good. I mean, you see all the pieces here. You do buy them from the awesome shop. These are all the pieces. You've got the lefts, the rights. You also got dummy stations as well, in case you're just looking for looks, not functionality. And then you've also got dummy stations. You've got regular platform stations, and then the freight stations, and then you've got the fluid freight stations as well. As you got the regular just gantry platforms if you want the full thing without the actual unloading and stuff like that, so it's not just a empty platform. And then if you want to make them even wider, because you can make these really freaking wide, you got the double stations, or the middle station, and then the little gaps and stuff like that, and you got the little pieces. So very, very cool. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. And this one, unlike my single player, has an elevator. An elevator. Oh, IC9. Oh yeah, I recognize that name from Docstream. But yeah, so we just got the logistics floor for the most part. This one's a lot more simple, especially because I'm only doing beams. This one's going to do both. Once I have enough power, it'll do both for a little bit, and then I will swap it over to just doing beams once the pipes facility is built. Like I said, the pipes facility, I actually moved the pipes facility over to the pier nodes because the pipes facility needs 1,000 coal, and there's 1,200 coal with Mark II miners over at the pipe facility, and that'll be that way for a while probably until we get Mark III miners, which we might have just unlocked actually just now. No, we're still Mark II. It doesn't really matter, but it only needs 1,000, and I was just gonna put that over there. That way, this is the only factory that needs an import. Because if I put, let's see, it's 600. Actually, yeah, this might be just the pipe facility. Never mind. Once we get Mark IIIs, we'll get Mark IIIs here very, very shortly. So, but I only want to do one coal import really. But then we come up to one of the main production floors. These are all of our smelters because we're doing the solid steel ingot recipe. You take iron ore into iron ingots, and then you send those iron ingots up to the next floor. There's not much to see. I don't really have time to do a whole lot of decoration because I'm, working on rail stuff. So, but I did have to up the facility because one constructor doing beams and one doing pipes is nowhere near enough for what I need to build. So, but yeah, all of it comes up here, and then these are actually facing backwards, which was intentional. But yeah, you get the iron ingots, which then gets the iron ingots plus the coal gets turned into steel ingot, which actually makes more sense in my opinion. But that is just how that goes. And then once you get the steel ingots, then they come around from the machines. This is why they're facing backwards, is so that the iron goes up into these and then goes around this and then into our constructors, which are going to be making beams and pipes. And then those beams and pipes all get merged together on two different belts and come over here. This will eventually get one. I'll still have the same setup because we're going to have two belts, but this is going to for now be pipes and beams for the upload, and then eventually go up to the next floor. That takes you up to the constructors up here, which is kind of a split floor design because I actually had to go a little bit short on the two floors here, unlike the smelter floor. Plus the foundries are just so much bigger. Alright, up to the top floor. We can get out of here. Yeah, so we're up at the top floor, and then I do have one of these kind of hanging out. And some people have already built rail lines as well for their areas, and I do not mind because I'm taking forever when it comes to this because I needed a proper beam and pipe facility. So yeah, we're going to be deleting that at some point, and we're going to be taking this and putting it over there. Basically, we're just going to copy it. Oh, I didn't show you guys this area over here. So this area has some modded pieces in it, but it actually come together quite nicely. So if we head over here, we actually got two doors, and these two doors lead to this outside area, which I use combination with the frame wall and the wire fence. Which the wire fence pieces, those should be in Satisfactory. They fit so well with the game. This I'm gonna need to move that. I forgot it was being placed on glass. Shouldn't be placing that there. But yeah, these are the two coal lines because we need to completely enclose our miners and stuff like that for the most part into the factory. So I came up with this design a little bit, as well as you got these really nice pieces which are also modded. Then you go down the stairs. Somebody hasn't been on in a long time. That matchstick has been here for over a week. Yeah, so you got the two miners here, which is really nice. But I really love these catwalk pieces, which will also be in my future modded playthroughs. These are from I forget what the mod's called. I don't think it's called Architecture Plus, and maybe it is. But yeah, you got all these really cool pieces, as you can see. And then I think you also get these pieces as well, which are really nice. Get the poles and the different sized railings and stuff like that. Very, very handy for doing stuff like this. As you can see, just a little tiny rail. Don't have to like accidentally drag it into the belt to ruin the thing. Oh.
Rocket fuel.
Oh, somebody unlocked rocket fuel. Nice. Rocket fuel, yay! What are you doing in here, buddy? Oh, I've trapped me an animal. Okay, that's pretty much that build, though. And then let's go ahead and head over.
Pocket dimension.
Yeah, people are getting all the... They're getting all the MAM research done, which is very good. That helps us out a lot. Yeah, then you've got the rail lines that go across here. Oh, hey, yeah. Robert's online too. Sweet. And I got a little truck station here that's going to be dropping off the iron. But like I said, I don't want to do that yet because my power needs are very hungry. So I have maxed out that power station over there. So yeah, as you can see, when this thing is running over here, it takes up a lot of power. But I need to make those so I can actually. These are all blueprints as well. I've made a lot of blueprints for this build so that I can duplicate it quite quickly over there once I get the chance. As well, so yeah. But because of the modular train stations, I was able to make this much smaller as far as width anyway. I'm still going with the 5-car trains for me personally. That's just what I like to do. But we'll be having a lot of single-car trains running around, I would imagine. Okay. This is also blueprinted as well. I called it the Desert Rail Bridge, and I got the lights on it. Kind of match the desert as well. Which actually looks really nice. This is actually like a kind of a copy off of my single player when the rail bridges that went through the swamp, which I will be building. I'll be taking this blueprint, modifying it for the desert. So yeah, we'll see how well that works. Which actually looks pretty good. This just goes across the desert. After it gets into the desert canyon, it doesn't go anywhere. So it's just one of those things. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Let's let's take the quick way back. Let's go ahead and you didn't see that because I want to show you guys while we're touring. I do want to show you guys what's over here. Plus Doc is over here streaming as well, which is very nice. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my recordings, or get my recordings done the same day as he does his streams. I feel like that competing with the spooky content is actually kind of of a nice mix. You get 2 videos of the PAX per week for a little bit while we're doing Spooktober stuff. So that's me, Mega Meaty Bacon Man. Yeah. All right, so I did do the what do you call it? I did do the infrastructure for the rail lines over here. The rail lines were already here, but then we've got this. So I've actually got these in blueprints as well. These are underarch bridges made with just simple concrete. You got simple beams underneath here. And I didn't do anything special to build these. I just used the normal circle method for pillars, which makes it look really, really nice. And then because this is a custom slope here, just went with the custom slope over there. And then, yeah, just a little arch bridge just to kind of not take up so much of the space. I actually might shift that over one foundation just so it's a little more even. I think that'll look probably better. But yeah, I was in a hurry, so you know what. And then over here we've got my my signature truss bridge. I say signature as in signature. I built it in this game, not signature as in I'm taking the signature of the truss bridge. So don't think that. But oh, I forgot to add pieces to that. Oops, that's okay. But yeah, I've still custom built the corners. Of course, it's just like my single player. If you haven't seen it, I built the rail bridge just like. So I decided to use the blue light because it was a little. Using just straight white wasn't going to really work with these pillars. These are kind of aluminum style pillars, so you get that. And then, yeah, these are also all blueprinted as well, which looks really, really nice. And then, yeah, I didn't get very far with it because I kept running out of steel beams, so I went to fix that issue a little bit. Yeah, so we've got the truss half bridge in this section. You can see these are all blueprints. And then if I go to pick one of these, look how expensive that is on the steel beams. Yeah, the steel beams are not going to be recuperating fast enough for that. 642 beams, so that's why I was trying to fix that issue. But we'll be building a little bit on this as well, so let's go ahead and head over to the next section. To where I had built. Across our little bridge here. You might see it in the distance, but I built another beautiful bridge with the spiral, because we did finish the spiral. I just didn't build the bridge yet. But I built the bridge in my own time just because it's a lot easier for me to just build and not have to worry about, okay, let me show off this portion of the build, let me show off that portion of the build. So I'm doing a lot of off the camera, I was going to say off the cuff building for some reason, but no, off camera building. Yeah, we just follow this rail line over here. Come on. Slide. Slide. Oh, and then that activated because of the whole thing. And then we come over here, and this is my cable stayed bridge. Oh, and then somebody's getting ready to hit the button.
Milestone.
Yeah, they're unlocking everything. Alright, so then the cable stayed bridge, now that Doc's online, they're unlocking all the stuff. Yeah, cable stayed bridge, this is a lot of modded pieces that came along with this. So basically this is from Structural Solutions. If we go over here to the Structural Solutions pillars, or Structural Solutions beams, we've got the large steel cable, which is this. Right here. And then you've got this piece right here, which is also really nice. And then you've got this piece here. So I decided to use a small pillar support in combination with this to make it look nice. And these were the best pieces for that specific pillar piece, which looks absolutely fantastic. So, and then you've got the lights on top. I went ahead and scaled up the lights and made them a bit brighter so you can see them from a bit further away. And then it beautifully connects up with our rail spirals. So it looks very, very good as well, especially from a distance. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna be building some more on this as well over near the hub and whatnot. And we will see. Let's see, how's that unlocked? Production. Nope, that has not unlocked Mark III yet. We're getting there, getting close. I'm sure they'll get those done today. We'll see. Yeah, very, very nice. That's all I have built over between the episodes, in combination with the Spooktober stuff. So everything's looking pretty good. Quite happy with it. All right. So I guess now that the kind of tour is over of what I have been building. Oh, you don't want to see what Mega Big Man has built over there. He's kind of went nuts. He's building the rail lines for his area, so very, very nice. And yeah, you got the matchstick over there, and then a couple other factories that people are working on. So anyway, let's I guess let's go ahead and get started on our rail bridges, which look rather nice. And yeah, got to build ourselves out of the bamboo forest essentially, so we can connect up to. I think that's. Oh, there's a new building over here. Hello. Let's go tour this bad boy real quick. Yeah, somebody built a house or something. Wonder what they have built over here. It is green. Definitely sticks out of the terrain. Oh, it's a truck station. Doc was asking why the screws hadn't been delivered. Somebody's delivering bauxite for some reason. Oh, they're getting bauxite. That's what's happening. And then are they delivering just straight bauxite? Okay. Somebody is dropping off just straight bauxite. Interesting. It's kind of a weird it's kind of a weird thing to do, but yeah. To each their own, I suppose. And I did these pillars as well for the power. They actually look pretty nice. Put the pillar spots up there, and then you can keep your cables well out of the way of building, at least. Alrighty. Cool. Okay, let's get over here and get to building. Doc's already working on it. Oh, Doc, this looks ugly. You can't just build through the terrain like that. What are you doing? I'll ask him if I could change this later, because I hate when this is like this. Looks ugly. Okay, so I'll show you guys exactly how I put this blueprint together real quick, and then we'll just build a bunch of them. So I'm already building over towards that area. Just, yeah, it does take a little bit as well to get building, and I'll have to delete these rail lines up here as well. Yeah, we were doing a bit of ramping. Yeah, just doing a bit of ramping. Me and Mega Meter Big Man. Let's bring that right to the edge there. Yeah, we're having a little bit of fun with my rail lines, trying to get them working. Okay. Now that is like that, then we just take this and just put this into good old blueprint mode. And because it's like that, and we just smush it over. Now we are overlapping the blocks here, but it's better than having to add them in. Once I get this placed. But yeah, I actually built this in such a way, just like my single player, where you can actually put. Don't worry about that. It's just a little temp train snaking its way through the landscape, building over the top of it. As you can see, my beams are already suffering. I did put a Mark V belt on them, so once the storage gets full, then it can just like fill up as fast as the Mark V belt can. Well, it's really as fast as the uploader can do, which is only 240%. So I should put another uploader on it. Yeah, you can see it's struggling a little bit. But yeah, that's why I build these off camera, because I just sit here and wait. I actually need to go over and grab more beams anyway. I guess what I might do is I might go back to my area, grab an inventory full of beams, fill up Doc's storage, as well as a bunch for myself, so I can just build these nonstop. And once you get those placed, we do have. I just been double supporting these because I was just like, it doesn't look too bad actually. It's actually not bad. Keeping this in blueprint mode. Costs 36 beams. Yeah, I got all the blueprints for this, so it's just a matter of putting them down, getting everything placed, getting the bridges, getting the rail lines put in, and then we'll be making our way, just like that. Alrighty, it's been a little bit working on these rail bridges. Even though I have the blueprints for them, they still do take a while. Especially when you got to make custom corners. These ones, I could blueprint them, but it's just faster just to build them, to be honest. They take so little time. It's like, well, they take a decent amount of time. Yeah, I could benefit from them being blueprinted, but I don't know. Especially ones like this. Like, it would be hard to... it'd be hard. Like, what I would probably do is I'd probably just build this 2 piece right here. Or maybe build the 4 piece right here. But then, what if I only need 2? Or what if I need, like, 6 or something? Then I guess I'd have to do 2 and then... I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out if I could maybe blueprint that the 5-degree corner that I got going on here. But like I said, it's just faster just to, for now anyway, it's just faster just to build them. I do got to remember I get all my pieces in there though. Alright, so for the next section, so we've gotten down here, I'm actually going to put a T-junction here, which I've already done. We're going to put a T-junction here because... I think I plan on looping this because there's bauxite over there's bauxite over there, and there's also coal nodes throughout this area. And if I can loop this back to the main station, I think that would probably do really well. Because then people can they can put coal mines and bauxite mines up here. So we'll do the bauxite coal loop, kind of like what we did on the single player. So since I've got my 2 bridges kind of clashed together like I have here, because this T-junction, what it's going to do, it's going to slope down this. Sorry. It's going to slope down this, and then it's going to end up going in between those 2 pools, and then it's going to basically try to go where this rail line's going here. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go around that way, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross right there with a nice little bridge, and then we're going to slope down that way, and that'll be how we get to the out to the rocky desert so that people can start delivering stuff. I think I usually custom build the end, that's why this looks so weird. Like, usually what I'll do is I'll go from the centerpiece to the outside connections there. We can still do that, but I need to custom build it. It's fine. It is what it is. It is what it is, but yeah, that completes our intersection piece. We've got all the supports. Okay, now what we can do is we can go ahead and build this so it's... So from here, 1, 2, 3. And I can make this slightly smaller, actually, because we've got the flex splines mod. We can actually do this. I mean, you could do this normally if you can. Sometimes it doesn't work though. So you go 2.5. So there's the half, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the half. Like, you can do this as well. Keep the train, basically to keep the train from clipping. Because like I said, the train does clip these inner pillars usually. Yeah, see, it doesn't clip now. But I did the 2.5. Like, you can do the 2.5 with vanilla as well, but it's just easier just to have the flex splines mod, which I'll definitely be adding to my repertoire of mods to add. I've used the flex splines mod before and the road tool mod. The road tool mod is actually really good, but we're kind of in that stage now where we don't want trucks delivering stuff, we want trains delivering stuff, so I'm kind of being trying to get these rail lines built first before we trying to get these rail lines built very quickly so that we can work on that. So now we got to slope down here. And what do I mean by the flex spline mod making our life easier when it comes to building rail slopes? This is exactly why. I want the rail to be roughly just look at that, dude. I mean, that's gonna be the rough, like, what the heck? Oh, spider's dying over here. Why? You know what? I don't care, because I'm going to take their remains. They're mine now. I'm an opportunistic DNA maker. Oh, it looks like a hog. Oh, the hogs and the spiders fight. Yeah, yeah. Now that I see the hog corpse. But yeah, look at that. Look, we can make an infinite slope. I mean, you can go nuts with the train lines. You can do just about anything. I don't think I don't know if there's a difference. No, there's no difference. Okay, look at you wouldn't be able to do that in the normal game. And the train will actually use it too, to the best of its ability, of course, as you can see. Uh-oh. Oh no. There we go. Fixed. Now, when you're building in parallel, when it comes to slopes and stuff like that, the one thing you do not want to do, or basically something you want to avoid doing, is you do not want to build slope corners in parallel that have an S bend to them. You can do the slope curves, but you only want the slope curve to go one direction. And the reason for that is because the way the splines work and the outside and inside of corners, what'll end up happening is your track will more than likely overlap itself when it goes into the S-band, because the way the spline system works. And even if they're perfectly at the end, let's say I had these two perfectly. This might be a crude example, but the S-band will put the center of the S-band will be really, really close together. It's like, yeah, no. Don't know if that's going to be. Yeah, like right there, it's going to be really close. So if you have to do an S-bend, you're going to have to build it in pieces. Build half the S-bend on one to a foundation, and then build the other S-bend, if that makes sense. So I think what I want to do... I could, I'd have to build the blueprint, but I could do a 2-meter slope down this way. And like we were doing a foundation, let's say, and we were to slope it down. Yeah, 2-meter slope might be the best way to do that. Now, of course, we don't have to build it on a... I was not really planning on using the rail bridge for that. I kind of want to follow the terrain a little bit as well. So what we might do is we'll use the 2-meter slope that we've got here. But what we can do, this is usually how I get my slopes anyway, is what we can do. Might build it out one more and then down. Yeah, I do want to kind of S-bend over this way. So I'm thinking anyway. As long as we keep building on that slope, we should be good. Yeah, this is less realistic. I mean, if this rail was to actually exist in real life, it would not be like this. Because trains famously don't like slopes. I mean, this is a 2-meter slope, but it's the best I can do within the limits I am given, you know? Alrighty, so just real quick before we get too much further into the build here. But I wanted to show you guys this before I got too further in. I actually changed this up. Since we were higher, we're now going to miss this cliff side, so I was just like, yeah, that's pretty good. So what I did was, let me just redo this real quick. So I want my curve to end up roughly here, which this looks like a pretty good aiming spot. Right there will be good. Doesn't have to be exact. It's just, I wanted to be roughly near that corner, because this makes a nice slope. So since I'm all building on 2-meter slopes, this entire slope curve is going to be 2 meters exactly. So the train line's not going to have too much of an issue as long as your train's not too long. If it ends up getting too long, you might have to add a second engine in order to make this work. Or you can do that. But yeah, before I wanted to continue this, so let's say I wanted to build this rail, which I do. This is exactly where I want this. And since we're doing a double line, for some reason I don't have power all of a sudden. Now I do. Because reasons. The jetpack is a little buggy when it comes to the rail lines, but so yeah, this connects that, and this is a temporary train line. It's not going to be exactly here, but I wanted to show you guys this. So now I got that connection here. This is how I build my slope curves. I did exactly this with the foundations. Obviously you could do the beam method, which also worked pretty well. It's hard to do a double line and get them exactly where I want them. So I just stick with the old method. It works pretty darn well. So then once you're building on the slope, then you can do slope curves like crazy, and they look really good, and they're usually pretty darn even. Sometimes they won't be exact, but usually there'll be a nice, pretty slope. So that's why I built with these 2-meter ramps, and we needed 2 meter in order to get down here. Let's say I was going to build, actually I will show you that, just to kind of show you what I was going to do. Because I was going to have an S-bend in here. Let's say I wanted to build it to here first, and then I want to make it curve there. That'd be a stupid curve, but that's just how it goes. What I would do is I'd get my extra connection there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. That was not me. That's not my power grid. I know that's not my power grid. They just checked on it a little bit ago, so. And we were doing plenty fine. I'm guessing that's a power grid over there. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and place that back. So I got distracted. I'm going to delete this rail line here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these out of the way for the moment. And you'll notice, I'll show you this, is really cool. So we're going to go into architecture. And you can grab either of these two, the big pillar support or the small pillar support. I'm going to use a small one because it's easier. And what you're going to do is you're going to aim right at the edge of the track. And you notice it just snaps right to the edge. Now, if you move up, obviously it goes up with it, but just move it right to the edge to where it snaps in place. Bam. And you're going to place that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 2-meter ramp. And because of me doing this, what it does is it does aim my rail line, which is really good. Sorry, my voice is cracking for some reason. I need more water maybe. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 2-meter slope and I'm going to snap it to the top, hit the H key. We're going to nudge it down to where it's right below the rail line. And you can see that's like perfect. Look at that. It's like perfectly resting on that foundation. However, this slope is now aimed perfectly with my rail line. Because I'm doing dual rail lines, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'll put this right here. And I will rebuild this just to make absolutely sure, but what we can do is we can now take this one and aim it. I always like to do the scroll. Do the scroll wheel. Sounds like a dance move. Do the scroll wheel. Then look at this, look. Now we can have a dual rail line where these are perfectly spaced, and then I can go to. Yeah, that's definitely not my my setup. Yeah, and we can delete that, and then what I can do is I can delete this one. Now I'm going to obviously change this, but what we can do is we can delete this one and then do the same thing. Go over, grab ourselves the pillar support, the small one please. Grab ourselves small pillar support, snap it to the end. Because we're still on that 2-meter slope, we haven't changed the slope at all. We can take our foundation 2-meter slope, snap it to the top, nudge it down one, drag it over, remove this because we no longer need it. And then grab our dual rail line. There we go. I'm going to redo this one just to make absolutely sure. Sometimes it's not exact. It's like 99.9% perfect, but it's not 100%. So, oops. And of course I screwed that up, but yeah. You can now see, even though we've got a wonky corner, you can now see that these two are perfectly matched up. Now, one's going to be slightly higher than the other because the inside corner always goes higher. That's just how the spline system works. But for the most part, they're going to be evenly matched. When it comes to the turn, they're going to be evenly spread. Now, if you're building an S-bend, this is a really good move to do for an S-bend because you'll need to do half the S-bend first and then the other half, and you'll need to use this method in order to get them spaced properly. Now, obviously, if you do rail lines where they've got a foundation space, obviously you'll take that into account and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just the way she works. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back because I want my rail lines to do there, but I'm going to go ahead and replace this right here so that we have a nice sloping curve. As you can see, it's way better than what we just done. But I just wanted to show you that method so that when you're building sloped curves, you can then get them spaced exactly where you want it. And because we've already done this, I can just take this and do that. Now, like I said before, if you're doing S-bends, you have to build half the S-bend first, and then the other half. You can't just build the S-bend because especially the longer they go, the more the rail lines are going to overlap in the center of that S-bend, because that's just how the spline system works. It takes the beginning start point of your rail line, that first click, and it takes the second click into account, and then what it does is it slopes it and curves it to match those two as evenly as it can do it. What have you done? He's got a train line running out here, but what have you done, man? What is all this? I love that there's like, they're like, when he puts them in, it's like he doesn't quite like set them properly. So what ends up happening is they end up leaning. I find that hilarious. That's just the way he builds, though. He's got amazing builds. Like amazing as in he has perfected the art of chaos when it comes to building in this game. And he's following all the server rules, which is crazy that he's managed to do both. He's managed to find a happy medium between following the server rules and building in his usual method. And he's going to hate me because I'm going to be building the main rail line through the desert here. And I might have to, I'm going to have to snake around his stuff and have him connect in. And then, of course, we've got that rail line. But yeah, that's pretty amazing, man. I haven't been over here in a while, but man, that is definitely his. That pink and the green, you definitely know. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take the small pillar support, and I'm actually just going to do this, just to be quick about it. And what we'll do is we'll take this, and what I like to do is I will take this, like that. And if the slopes are close enough, we could do this. And then bring this over. And then do this. If you take the outside one, or the inside, is it the inside one or the outside one? It's whichever one's higher is the one you want to take. And because I'm using these, see just how much of a difference there is. It's not a whole lot of difference. It's like a quarter of a meter there, difference in height there, because of the curve. But yeah, if you take the higher, or take the higher one, which in this case will be the inside, then it actually looks pretty nice. If you take the outside one, sometimes it'll end up, this won't ever touch. But then it reminds me of like, it looks like the rail line is on springs. But yeah, then what I'll do is I'll just kind of touch these together. Just kind of like that. Something like this, and then we'll drag these over. And what I'll do is I'll take these out. This. Because the height is already set. Yeah, and they look pretty nice like that. And then I will take these as well and put them in the middle. It's pretty simple. It's pretty quick to build, especially because everything snaps. Looks really good. That's the kind of slope I'll go for here, which makes it look interesting. It's got an interesting look to it. Very nice. Alrighty then, got a little bit carried away, I think. Just ever so slightly. Why is it purple here? Why are all of my shadows purple? What happened? Just randomly. Anyway. So I'm trying to build a bridge across that where we talked about before. As you can see, I got most of this done, but then I kind of got distracted, and then I was like, oh crap, I need to go record a different video. Then now I'm back here. Okay, so this needs to be roughly in the middle. Actually, that's not too bad. I think I'm going to move it here. Oh, dude, that's perfect. Wait, no. That's perfect. That's right in the middle. Okay, I love that we can just build it from way over here. I love being able to lock stuff down. More building games that have holograms need the ability to lock the hologram in place. So you can look at it from every angle before you decide to place it. Even if you can't nudge it, I don't care about nudging. Just being able to lock it is more than enough. And now if you can add the nudge, that'd be amazing too. But okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to build that over there. And then, yeah, I'm just going to use a truss bridge. I was thinking about using, arch, or not arch bridges, sorry, the aqueduct style bridge, but I was just like, yeah, those are going to be used in a lot of different places, especially out in the northern forest and stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel on using those. For now, I stepped in the water. Alrighty then, and after a little bit of time, and by a little bit of time I do mean, 2 or 3 hours, maybe longer. I haven't really
keeping track.
It has been a while, but finally we are ready to make our way down this slope. So we're going to be running our train down this slope here. So yeah, I guess slope train. My brain was kind of correct, I suppose. Now I have spoken with this person before, and they built this rail line temporary to bring quick wiring cable up to the mall and whatnot. Now this is a push pull line, so they will have to change their train to a single way, not a push pull train, because that's not going to work for our type of rail line. But yes, I did get the rail line all the way up here, as well as I got all the signals in place. So that is really good. Let's go take a look. So we got I actually decided to build a viaduct for this area. Other than this truss bridge, we decided to do a viaduct for this area. So that's basically what the bridge style is called, is viaduct, and viaducts are used in a lot of rail lines, especially. And they can come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. This is just a style of it. But yeah, we turn this 5-degree corner here around, and then we go up a 1 meter slope. I did get these blueprinted as well, so that people that want to use these on the server, they can absolutely use these if they like. So you got 3 different styles. You've got the 1 meter, you've got the 2 meter, and then you've got the flat, which there is the flat right there. And then you've also got the rail supports. So no matter which one you're building, the 1 meter, the 2 meter, or the flat one, you can use the same bridge supports. Because the way this is designed, as you can see, it's flat at the bottom, so that this one blueprint works for all slopes and on all pieces, basically. So kind of a more diverse section. And then again, we built this one by hand because doing the curves is a lot harder, especially when it comes to blueprints. The blueprints do not like curves when you build a partial curve. It's either 90 degree or nothing if you want it to work decently. But then we come up to this intersection here. Now this intersection I did have to change because it was going to be a T-junction, a perfect T-junction, but then my thing was over here, and the way this ended up, I decided to change it into somewhat of a Y section. So, and because of how tight this had to be, we made little curves like this. So straight piece up to here, and then a little curve to here, and that's it. And it's a pretty tight curves in here. We've got 2.5 here, and then this one is, well, this is roughly 2.5. This isn't quite a 2.5 corner. It's less than, but you'll find this, you'll be able to do this on vanilla as well, so. And we'll leave this for later. Once we get through the Rocky Desert area, and we get most of that, we get to our main rail line going through there, where Meaty Bacon Man can connect to that area, then he will be able to do that. But yeah, this will go off to the northern forest, like I said, and then we've got our beautiful slope here. So a beautiful curved slope. It does look a little steeper in some sections, just because the inner corner is always slightly steeper than the outer corner. So if you go to the outer corner, you can actually see the outer corner is it's got the same slope. We did not change that from the beginning there, and I also went ahead and finished all the supports for this using these. I painted them to make them look somewhat close to concrete, so the little, because the orange is way too noticeable in my opinion, and I didn't want to draw the eye to this specific piece. So having them gray like the concrete, and that does kind of work. So yeah, let's go across this rail bridge, and now we're going to go down this slope. Now this is where it gets a little challenging, because while I could use my 1 meter or 2 meter slope method to make really nice curved slopes and stuff like that, that's not going to work for this slope. I'll show you exactly why. So if we go 1 meter, at a certain point, this slope right here goes from whatever it starts at, and it starts sloping down even steeper. So then we're going to have to do a 2 meter from here in order to keep up with the slope, because we don't want to get too high and we don't want to get too low. And if I start with a 2 meter, obviously a 2 meter is not going to work as well, because the start of the slope, that's it, inverted. Because the start of the slope is not that steep, so then we end up just running into the ground. So that's just a 2 meter, by the way. So 1 meter will work for a little bit, but then eventually it's going to hit into a 2 meter. Now I can use these as guides, but I'm going to more or less build my own support or my own connection pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this point, which actually this is a really good spot. So I am going to use the 1 meter here. And because I got this track right here that they so graciously provided for their train, I can use that for my jetpack, or my hoverpack. I'm actually going to get these started on a slope as well. You'll notice that a lot of the time, like if you do this, I'll show you, this is actually really interesting. If I do this, let's go all the way down here and I'll show you the difference. The reason I put that little piece at the top like that is because of the way the spline system works. This, because like I said before, the spline system looks at the first point click and the second point click, and then it tries to smooth between those 2 points, whether it be curves or slopes or both. So if I do this here, I'll show you what happens. This does not work. You cannot just do this. I mean, if you like it, if it's long enough, it might be okay, but as you can see, it kind of slopes down, and then it starts sloping down, and then see how it kind of like it slopes slightly steeper than the 1 meter, and then it kind of slopes less to get to that 1 meter, and then it hits the 1 meter at the end. And it creates this, and if you build like this, if you build your hills like this, especially in the middle of the hill, when then I go to next do this one, then the train goes, it starts sloping down, it slopes down, and then it kind of levels out slightly, and then starts sloping down a little bit steeper, and then it levels out slightly. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's why I always start with the little 1 meter piece. Now it depends on the slope I'm building, of course, if I do 1 meter or 2 meter, but when it comes to this, I like to do this little piece here. Okay, that's actually, that's really nice. Like I said, this is all going to be custom built slopes, so yeah, we'll just do the quick support method, which the support method is what we just done is the quick one. That is the quick one. Okay, beautiful. All right, now we will have to start sloping down to 2 meter. Whoops, hold on. Oh yeah, I need that back. I wasn't going to, but I was like, well, maybe that'll be more beneficial. Go to a 2 meter slope. It's kind of harsh, but I don't know if it's any better. Okay, well, first of all, let's get the... Okay, and even a 2 meter is way too steep. Alright, so we do need to make sure we straighten out with the slope here. All right, I'll try it both ways. We'll try it this way. So you got this, right? Yeah, you see what it's doing? That's exactly what I wanted to avoid. Now, the other thing I can do is I can raise this up to try and... hold on. I'm actually... do it this way. We'll do it this way. Okay, architecture. Like that. Grab our slope. Drop it down. Actually, raise it up. We need to raise it up anyway. Because I need a nice gentle slope that goes from a 1 meter to a 2 meter, not 2 meter to a 3 meter to a 2 meter. Or 1 meter to a 2 meter to a 3 meter to a 2 meter. Exactly what I don't want to happen. Ooh, I'm actually starting to like it. Didn't do that. I'm doing that little wiggle just to make sure we square up. So you don't have any, like, weird bends. Ooh, I'm really liking that. That is very gentle. Even on this side, it is very gentle. Okay, we'll go with that. I'm going to stop messing with it. Like I said, don't want to play with it too much. Yeah, I'm going to stop messing with it. Alright, so for this one, specifically what I'm going to do is I am going to put a signal here, but only because this is a 1 meter slope. However, that might be a little dangerous. I might have to test it, but that might be a little dangerous just because of the fact that it's on a slope anyway. So we might get a little bit of rollback, but not too much. All right. So then we just make our way down this slope, and I think we can go straight from here. That was kind of the point that I wanted to do. Was I did want to have a 2 meter that went straight for a little while. Yeah, see, and we are, because we went up higher, we're actually going to clear the rocks, which is really nice. So, and then what we'll do is we'll keep, once we get past that rock, then we'll turn to the right, slope down 2 meter until we get closer to the terrain, and then we'll kind of level off back to a 1 meter. It's actually not a bad slope, though. Yeah, so that's basically how I build slopes, curved slopes, again, from 1 meter to a 2 meter. And I just keep messing with it until I get it to actually look decent. Alrighty then, and after a little bit more time, we have made our way all the way down to the bottom out here to the rocky desert. That might be my thumbnail, dude. Or I'll make that a thumbnail at some point. Oh my gosh, man. What the heck? So he built he built a lot of stuff. We'll see how we can hook into, or how he can hook into that and stuff like that. But anyway, we got our slope here. So unfortunately, I could not get this any lower. Because the way the slope is built, it's just not gonna work. With it being any lower. I tried and tried and tried, and I just could not get it any lower than this, unfortunately. However, we do have our slope in place, and then once they delete the rail, then we can go ahead and put our supports in, but we'll wait for that. So then once they get that out of the way, because I don't want to be, they're trying to get that out of the way, and then they're trying to not delete my supports and stuff like that. It's not really worth it. It's like, we'll just wait until they get that removed, and then we'll go back in with supports and stuff like that. But I'm actually quite happy, because this actually turned out really nicely. I might go with a solid foundation set for this, rather than doing the what we've done on the other side. But yeah, go with a solid foundation set all the way up here. Obviously not with these foundations, but with the pillar foundations. If we go solid all the way down, I think that'll look really decent as well. So yeah, it actually turned out quite well. It goes all the way up and all the way down. And of course, this is all 2 meter slopes. I left my I left my signals off of here. They've got their train line clips through my train. I love that it just clips through. That actually didn't turn out too bad. This is a really nice slope to build on, which is quite nice. And then yeah, we go to the 1 meter here, and then, or this is a 2 meter here. I actually went to a 1 meter here, and then I decided against it. Decided to keep going to a 2 meter so that we were even lower. And like I said, yeah, if I had kept going down, and then when we hit the 1 meter, it would have been a disaster. So we kind of hit the 1 meter a little bit early, and then we slope down. Now this little kink right here, this is so we can connect up to this without it sloping too bad. I might do this though. I might look a little smoother of a transition, yeah. That's a little smoother of a transition. That doesn't need to be. That does mean I need to remove this. Oops, not that one. Just this one. Actually, there's a 2.5 meter corner as well. Didn't need to remove that one. We'll have to fix this anyway at some point. Once they get connected in this, I did message them to tell them, hey, you can connect up to the rail line here. Got it as close as I could, so we'll see what they do with that. Get their other train line out of the way. I did want to be up a decent amount because last time I came through this area, I was actually really low. And what ended up happening was this guy right here that spawns in this area kept walking on my damn tracks. So it's just like I decided to be a little higher, or tried to be a little bit higher with it when it comes to that. So yeah, we were much lower sloping up this thing. I could probably, I don't know. We'll work something out, I think. But for now, though, I think I am going to go ahead and leave it here. It's been a long day, so we're going to go ahead and end this here, which we did get a decent amount of work done. We went all the way from up there in the bamboo forest all the way down here into the rocky desert. So that's a good chunk of track placed. And like I said, we'll work this out. We might go a little bit lower, and then what I'll do is I'll kind of S-bend through this area. Get down a little lower. I think that might be the better way of doing it. But yeah, that's just his build is just incredible, huh? Just crazy. Yeah, we'll work something out with Mega Meaty Bacon Man because what I want to do is I want to build the main rail line through his area, but I don't want to disturb any of his builds. So basically, he'll connect into it, but that's all. The rest of that is all for his factories. So. We'll see what happens. We'll work something out, like I said. So anyway, with that though, like I said, that is going to be it. Just as a quick little reminder, if you'd like to check out Doc's channel, he is a pretty popular YouTuber here on Satisfactory YouTuber here on the YouTubes and on Twitch as well. You can check out his channel link down in the description below of this video, along with him and others on my main YouTube page underneath the friendly content creator section. So if you get the chance, definitely check them out. And he is the host of this lovely server, so if you want to join him, you can join his members on his YouTube, and then get in on the action with this server as well as others. So really cool that he's doing all that. But anyway, like I said, that is going to be it. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.